What is going on, my stock market bulls and bears? I'm your host, Terry, and welcome to my channel, Buy the Dip. That's right, guys, and today we're going to talk about a penny stock that is, you can buy this on Robinhood. You can buy this on Webull, which is that first link down below. Download and deposit $100 using that link. Get yourself some free stock, help the portfolio grow. Guys, ticker symbol is Tnxp, Tonix Pharmaceuticals. As you can see here on the chart on Google Finance. Stock is trading at $1.19. If you look at the 5-day, there was a big dip back on the 23rd. It was down to $1.09. As you can see, we're $1.19. But I think the 1 month chart kind of shows what happened here. It was down around 97 cents. We hit a peak on February the 11th at $2. And ever since then, as you know, the market's been kind of downtrending. But this stock has been downtrending before the big dip has been happening. As you can see, then the stock has just been falling. So what do we got going on here today, guys? So if we go here to their website, TonixPharma.com, you can get on here and check it out. I went on here to look at their news press releases. February the 11th, Tonix Pharmaceuticals licensed technology for treating the Prader-Willi syndrome, a rare genetic eating disorder from the French National Institute of Health and Medical Research. And that's pretty much what they got down there as well. That was the most recent news. But one thing I did want to point out, on March 26th, coming up next month, they have a special meeting of the shareholders. That is a virtual event. So I think that is something we need to keep in mind. In this video, guys, we're going to have an interview with the CEO, Seth Lederman. He was on a TV show. He did an interview how they're talking about making a vaccine and how they're going to be able to possibly help other countries with distribution of the vaccine. It's a one-shot vaccine. So this could be a play you could buy in, maybe hang on to it for a few months. If this thing pops up, cash out, take your profits. Or if you want to get on here and check it out and you think it's a long-term hold, get in there and be my guest. But let's go now, guys, and listen to the interview with Seth that he had. And you can make a final decision on what you think. Right now, I do not currently own this stock. And no, this is not a sponsored video. I just wanted to get in here and bring you something different that I haven't talked about in the channel. But I do got this on my watch list on Robinhood. Could go in there and pick up 100 shares at $1.19 a piece. And if this thing pops up to $2, cash out, take some profit. So that's what I'm looking to do on this one. So let's go check out that interview, guys.
COVID vaccines are one way we'll be able to resume a normal life again. And one company working on a COVID vaccine is Tonix. And the CEO and founder, Seth Lederman, is here with me to explain what they're doing. So, Seth, if you could just kind of start your background and why you decided to be a founder of Tonix.
Well, Jane, thank you very much for having me on and your interest in Tonix. I was a professor at Columbia Medical School, and I founded Tonix to work on important problems. And we've been working on pandemic preparedness for quite a while. I started my career researching HIV. And like many people in the COVID fight right now, the roots of my interest go back to HIV, and a lot of the tools that we're developing were tools that were developed to fight HIV. But now Tonix has grown. We're on NASDAQ, we're publicly traded, and we have quite significant research going on in a number of areas. But we are a research-driven biotechnology company, and COVID is one of our important programs.
Now, we know that Moderna has emergency use authorization from the FDA. Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson is working on that. Can you kind of explain where your vaccine is and how it would fit into this kind of family of vaccines that we're seeing?
First, it's wonderful that the mRNA vaccines already have emergency use authorization, as you say, and I can't wait to get mine. I think that this is a very important step forward for the country, for the world. I think it shows the importance of novel technologies, but there are some unanswered questions, and we are busily working on ours because we think ours has attributes that those vaccines may or may not have.
Okay. Now, you mentioned the mRNA technology, and my understanding this is the first time it's been used in a vaccine, and it requires the vaccines be really cold, like 95 degrees below zero. So that is one thing that just logistically makes them more difficult to administer, correct?
Yes, and it's remarkable how the United States has been distributing it, dealing with this huge problem, and even under the best hands, sometimes if vaccine is stored at the wrong temperature, it has to be discarded. So this is it's a limitation, but it's also reflective of how incredibly quickly these vaccines were developed. I mean, less than a year. So I'm in awe of what was accomplished by Moderna and Pfizer and J&J and AstraZeneca. But you're right. Ultimately, we really need vaccines that can be stored at more reasonable temperatures, that once they are either thawed or reconstituted, can be stored in a regular refrigerator. And also, we need these vaccines also for the rest of the world, where, for example, in remote places in Africa and India and other places, it's not practical to get something like a Pfizer vaccine deployed there. So yes, ours is designed to be much more robust. And when it is mass produced, it can be shipped around the world with reasonable storage conditions. But again, the product attributes of ours being more robust, easier to use, etc., that's part of the reason why it takes more time.
Okay. And the Moderna and Pfizer are two doses. What are you working on?
Yes, so ours is a one-shot vaccine, and again, that's a very important attribute, because it's just human nature. People don't always come back for that second shot. A surprising number of people don't come back for that second shot. And in thinking about vaccination as a public health issue, everyone needs to be protected when everyone gets the adequate vaccination. So if you have people that are not adequately vaccinated, you're really not protecting the rest of the people. So it's not only a convenience issue, but it's an issue about really protecting the public.
So what kind of timetable would you say that you're on? What's next for your vaccine? What does it have a name yet? I mean, and then where do you go? Like, when might we actually see this implemented in a doctor's office, for example?
Well, let me take baby steps first. We are rushing to manufacture it at a quality level that's acceptable for human trials. So we expect to accomplish that this summer, and we expect to commence human testing that will initially be safety testing this year. Okay. So that's about as far forward-looking as I can forecast right now, because it'll be dependent on how desperate society is in 2022 for how quickly we can move forward. If, for example, there's the belief that the existing, maybe by that time there'll be 4 or 5 EUA vaccines. If people think that the pandemic is really under control, we're going to go through a more traditional vaccine development. But on the other hand, if these strains are confounding everyone, if things are really not going as planned, then there's an opportunity for us to move faster.
Well, yeah. Well, that was one question: was if I'm vaccinated, do I still have to wear a mask? But that forward transmission is still a question mark, right? We don't know, even though we're vaccinated, we don't know if we can still spread the virus to somebody else.
Well, let me say unequivocally, people who are vaccinated should continue to wear masks, should continue to practice social distancing, should continue to hand wash, and be just as scrupulous as they were before they were vaccinated. Mm-hmm. One of the common misconceptions of vaccination is that some people believe incorrectly that vaccination protects someone from getting infected. That's simply not correct. Vaccination only changes the outcome of infection. So someone who's vaccinated can still get infected and they can still spread it. But a successful vaccine would lead them to, for example, not die or not wind up on a respirator, et cetera.
Okay.
So I certainly hope that people that are vaccinated will continue to be, to practice all of the safe measures that we've been learning. It'll be a long time before we're out of the woods with those, those precautions.
Okay, long time, year, no, longer. I don't know.
In Asia, people wore in Tokyo, people were wearing masks, 15 years after SARS. So I think that masks are going to be part of the landscape of humanity.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll say we certainly appreciate the work that you're doing, Seth, on this, because I mean, for us non-scientists, we rely on you to, keep us healthy and live a normal life and get back to work and all that. So we really appreciate what you're doing, and please update us as you continue to do studies with this vaccine.
Well, thank you very much for having me on the show, and thanks for your interest in.
All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed that interview there with the CEO, Seth. Here is the website, tonixpharma.com. I will put that down in the description below. That way you can get on here on the website, check it out yourself, and decide if it's something that you want to take an interest in. If not, just put it on your watch list, see what happens over the next few months, and be able to go from there. So, guys, I will catch you in the next one. Remember to buy the dip. Like I said, that Webull link down below. Get yourself some free stock. And the Patreon link is down in the description as well, guys. $5 a month. Get my buy-sell alerts. Get all the new stocks that I'm talking about before they hit YouTube. And I will catch you all on the next one, guys.